Hi, and welcome to another devlog. This time, I wanted to start making the anime's AI, but so many unexpected problems happened that I ended up not having enough time for that yet. So, here's what happened. I decided to follow some suggestions and change the pacing of the attack animations to have the hits feel more impactful. So far, all the animations showed in the game were from Mixamo, as I don't have enough experience animating yet. I tried to edit the attack animation inside Unity, but I immediately ran into a problem. I am using Unity's humanoid rig type. This converts the animation bones into a series of generic muscle joints. Because of that, you can't edit them as you would expect inside Unity. There are some third-party assets that help solve this, but I am trying not to depend on using any custom plugins for this project as much as possible. Just to have something to test, I extended the muscle animation frames just to add a little weight after the attack hits. I intend to change this later and make some real animations. A quick note on the light bug I was having. Turns out this weird flash was being caused by my glow shader. I was using a glow shader on top of the standard shader to make the glow, and was setting the glow power and visibility to 0 when not glowing. And I think there is some precision error bug, because the power goes into negative for a split second, causing this weird effect. So I remade the glow shader combining both shaders, and added a clamp node at the end to make sure that the node negative values are present. This also replaced the need for a Unity's standard list shader, and will have better performance than using the two shaders together. I then tried to make some custom animations for the first time. First, I imported the Barbarian character inside Blender, and made sure Mixamo animations were working properly there. And uses the official Mixamo rig plugin for Blender to create the armature for the models. I have never animated a character before, so I decided to start by trying to make a simple attack animation for the goblin enemy. The result was horrible and very unnatural. So I decided to take some time and learn some basic animation principles first before trying again. And after going through a lot of tutorials, I've made another attempt. I started by blocking out attack animation keyframes this time, and later went on refining it a little bit, making for a way better result. Now all that was left was take the animations back to Unity. And that's when the problems really started. Unity animations work with avatars. It is basically a map of the bone structures to use for the animations. But when you import an animation into Blender, it will add an armature node. This change makes it so I can't use the same character avatar for my new animations. The obvious ways to fix this is to make a new avatar from the animations. But when I try to do this with the goblin model, something is very wrong. And that's because of the unusual goblin posture. Unity is auto-guessing the T-pose of the characters wrong, and everything is crooked when using the animations. For some reason, if the FBX contains the mesh, Unity will guess the T-pose correctly, which is why the original goblin worked correctly. But I didn't want to have two duplicated goblin models, so one way I found to fix this was to export an empty animation with the character in its rest pose from Blender, and use that to create the avatar, which fixed the issue. To clear my head a little bit, I decided to model some props for the game. Random things to put in the background, and also temporary rock pieces to build the background scenario. I've also made the plate breakable, and an animated banner. For the banner, instead of using a real-time cloth simulator inside Unity, I've decided to bake Blender's cloth simulator to an animation armature to use in-game. To achieve that, I added some wind, baked the Blender physics simulation, and used bone constraints to follow the mesh. And finally, I baked the animation to the bones, resulting in this flag. I did some fixes to the player mesh at some point, and now all the animations were broken. I got stuck in trying to figure out what was happening here, and even got some very horrifying results while trying to fix it, but eventually I found out the reason. The Barbarian model was originally modeled with the hand palms pointing forward, and the Mixamo animations were created based on that. But that was generating some really horrible geometry tearing, so I fixed the hand position for the correct palm facing down position later. But because the animations were made from the old model with the wrong hand rotations, the new avatar was getting the positions completely wrong. To fix that, I had to get a new model into Mixamo and regenerate the animations again. The main problem was that I duplicated some animations to keyframe the attack hitbox, so after updating the animations I had to recreate the hitbox keyframes. Finally, I managed to fix things and go back to where I was. Not much progress this time. These animation problems got me stuck for a really long time. But with that out of the way, now I can finally focus on AI and slowly changing the animation for custom ones. Sorry for the lack of things to show. Hopefully next time I will not have as many problems and can make more progress in the game. Thank you for watching, and until next time.